Alright, let's give this a test. 3434. Look, I'm gonna skip the 1, 2 if you don't mind. Alright, everything seems to be working. Hey, check it out! Patapon, saucepan, everything else that may exist. This might just be the return of something. I don't know what that is a return of, though, but keep on dreaming on. Why doesn't it, like... Is it because it's... I need to work here? Like, why did it just splash everything? I need to increase the threshold? Probably. Do I want to do that, though? What's range? Yeah, if I just reduce the range to... No? Really? Wow. How... Okay, there we go. Hey, hi! It's been a while. I want to do these... like, either a weekly or semi-weekly thing again. Is that something possible? Only one way to know. As I said in the little video thing, that wasn't a video, in a text update thing, I do, like, I'm not going to all the question I got. Like, I'm going to be, I might edit that. You know what? Maybe I will. I'm going to basically stop once I get 20 minutes. Like, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to stop and we're going to continue where we are. First question was this lovely little friend. It's a lovely little friend. 18D is a good place to be. How do I scroll up with... I guess I can't. So, first actual question by Mayo the Hedgefogs. Hello, me. A lot of us Patapons probably heard of those mysterious roleplay games you play in the Spot Zone. Can you tell us a little bit more about them? Maybe even recount favorite moments and characters during these campaigns? Thanks. I mean, so I don't know if I want to go into detail about that, but yeah, like the reason why the Spot Zones exists in the first place is because, you know, for a while, like a big thing that I was trying to make happen with the whole, Discord thing was to have weekly games. And turns out it has been a good success, at least with some of us. Currently, there are 4 more or less official games running and a few unofficials, and I don't really know what's happening with them. I don't feel comfortable going into details about what's going on in them, because I don't think I'm a very good storyteller, and I don't think that the story I would tell would give justice to, you know, what has been going on. So I feel like I'm not going to go in details, but basically there are, you know, of the official games, there's a game of still a game going as in the original. So yeah, so like originally there was a Pathfinder game. That campaign has ended. There is still a game of what's Dungeon Force, Dungeon Road, Dungeon World. That's still going on its 3rd campaign or season, however how you want to count it. That's still been going on. There is a game of Shadow Ball, Shadow Sputnik. No, why can't Steampunk Superfly Zone? Why can I not remember any words? That's so weird. Shadow Sputnik Superfly. What's the name? Help. Flargs Blind. You know that game where you can pretend to be a bee, but then you go to the racetrack and you're like, sorry, bees are not allowed. You need to build a big peppercorn factory and we'll consider letting you in illegally. Anyway, that's a game that's going on. There's a game of Fate, which is also on its like 3rd season, 2nd season. We're going in space and causing trouble, because what else would happen in space? Like, it's just big old full of trouble, and you gotta roll around in circles, because see, if you don't got any die, what you can do is just paint a whole bunch of numbers on yourself, and then you just roll around for a little bit until people are tired of your nonsense. They're like, fine, you did it. And finally, there is Freebooters on the Land, which is the only game that doesn't have Fuse as a GM right now, and it's a lot of fun. That one is the one that has the most dungeons, but also has a lot of roleplay. A lot of the games, Shadowrun, there you go. A lot of the games have in common, like, I feel like, I'm not going to go into details about what's going on. Like, there's recordings and places you can find places. But I will say, though, that, like, all the games have excellent players that are both, like, good, like, players in good sports, but also really good with the role play element. And that, to me, is what makes a big difference. Like, I find that just playing mechanically for the sake of it gets real boring real fast. But man, like, the way that the players just contribute to the story has been a blast and has been a lot of fun. I wish there were more opportunities for more people to join in the game. It's just that for most of the games, we got, like, everyone's being very consistent and showing up, and, like, attendance had not been an issue, so there's not a lot of opportunities for new people to enter, unfortunately. But, like, we still got a lot of games going. And there's unofficial games. If anyone's interested, there's, like, a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's a game of Pokemon. But, like, they're role-play games. I don't really understand those. If you got, like, a free Friday, both of those games don't have a lot of players going on right now. I don't play in them, though. If that's a thing that would get you into the getting you. You might have to look elsewhere a little bit. But yeah, Plusia's all, dear Cloud, our cloud real? Yeah, there's clouds outside, so consider yourself real. It's in French. It's pretty weird. Oh, what? You can't just stay in the bean zone if you do that? Alright. See, as I clear them, I'm just going to erase them. And that's how I know where I'm at in the world of Plusia. Yeah. Clouds are real. They're so real that sometimes it rains. The Play Madness is all, hey, Alcow, when you started doing LP, it wasn't even a thing that could be a career or a primary source of income. What was your intended career path? What did you want to be when you grew up? Well, I won't go into details of what I wanted to be when I was growing up because, I mean, I was a kid, you know? I wanted a whole bunch of things. I was mostly interested in my younger years in science. Video's not gonna like that. I accidentally hit the border and changed the side. Well, yeah, like I was lots of interest in the science and whatnot. But I don't know, man. In school, that wasn't really my thing. As school was happening, art was definitely the path I had started to follow in terms of things that were interesting me. Like, like I was always a pretty bad student. I wasn't doing my homework and whatnot, but art, I would just do that all the time. I'd get extra assignments because I was working too quickly and whatnot, and that was a lot of fun. Now, the thing is, when you're looking into the world of a future career and you think art, like, if you're being realistic, like, if you want to plan beyond, I'm gonna be an artist, which is just, like, not really gonna happen for the vast majority of peeps, which, is the unfortunate truth. I took studying into education because I figured, well, like, if I can teach peeps how to do art, how to appreciate and like art, that'd be pretty cool. That would be a close second. I quit after my first practicum in college because I realized, holy moly, this is not the place for me. I am significantly too, what's the word I'm looking for here? Too much of a introvert. I have trouble, like on an individual level, I think I'm pretty good with people, actually. Like, I can hold a conversation, I can have a good time. But put me in a group and I get major social anxiety. And turns out this is true for the classroom also. So, yeah, that was kind of a bust. So then I studied in graphic design, which was a lot of fun. Met a ton of super fun people there. Problem is, though, as I was looking at the different project I was proposing, like, I wasn't really doing graphic design projects. I was doing illustration projects. I was given a project in graphic design. I always tried to find a way to spin it into an illustration thing. So I kind of dropped out of that. Like, I asked of my teachers and whatnot. They were perfectly agreeing. They're like, "Oh yeah, totally." So I was like, "Well, all right." I managed to slightly live as working on my own dime, like working on myself as an independent contractor. Made a few projects, and that was a lot of fun. But boy, howdy, did I not enjoy the day-to-day stress, though, because you never know, are you going to get some job here or there? Is it going to be like 2 months until I get my next project? Is it going to be yet another project where I complete the thing? Or I give a person, like, I don't know, like sort of a sample of what I'm working on, and then I never hear of them ever again. Like, and that's when I got a real job in in a customer service. I started to do LPs at the point in there where I was a student in graphic design. That's when those two reality coincided during that period. That's when it started. And yeah. So that's kind of a big TLDR. Basically, like, I just did this. I just started to do LPs, like, strictly as a hobby. Turns out it paid off, and I mean, that's great, but man, is that not something I can, like, recommend as a life path or anything? And even then, like, that's a really, it's a really soft bubble. It can pop whenever it wants to, so you got to be careful. If you have a habit of carrying around large spiky marsupials, I'm going to have to ask you to maybe stay away from my apartment, because I would rather not take any chances. Unless you don't mind just kind of like leaving them on the porch, but like I wouldn't want them to wander off, right? Get eaten by like an errand garbage bin or something. If you can leave them in your car, I guess that would be best. But animal cruelty, you don't want to be cruelty to your animals. So at least leave 5 windows open if it's a convertible. Like, remove the wheels. Make sure that the radio is playing in order to reduce stress to your animal. And if you're also leaving a baby in there, make sure to leave the doors unlocked so that if it wants to, get out, stretch its legs, peer into the soul of the neighbors, any of that, well, they gotta keep the option of being able to do that, right? Because otherwise, like, what's even the point? And that's very important for personal development. If there's anything else I would like to add about that, is that I am insanely lucky to be in the position I am here. And I've said it before, but I just don't think, I think y'all way not enough. Like, I need to be thanking y'all way more than I am. So let's take this as the first steps towards being more thankful and knowing, like I seriously, the way I say it always seems, to me at the very least, it makes it sound like it's some kind of joke, but it's really not. I am thankful for everything like that you people have enabled me to do, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Like, I hope you all enjoying watching a French Canadian play video games on the internet. I know that, like, the what's the word I'm looking for here? The novelty might start to be wearing off, but I'm glad that a lot of you are enjoying it nonetheless. So this is gonna be it for today as a little test, because I got to figure out the technological aspects of me handling this. So let's see how that goes. People pay attention to that channel might notice that something is missing now.